A Journey Through Stephen King's Novels Part 2. 10. Cujo, published in 1981, is a suspenseful horror novel written by Stephen King. The story takes place in the small town of Castle Rock, Maine, and primarily revolves around the harrowing events that unfold when a once friendly St. Bernard dog named Cujo becomes rabid. The novel follows several interconnected storylines. The Trenton family consists of Vic, a hotshot advertising executive, Donna, his wife, and their young son Tad. The family's lives intertwine with Joe Camber, Cujo's owner, and his son, Brett. Cujo, initially a beloved and gentle dog, contracts rabies after being bitten by a rabid bat while exploring a local cave. As the disease takes hold, Cujo's behavior becomes increasingly aggressive and unpredictable. When Donna Trenton's car breaks down during a visit to the Camber residence, she and Tad find themselves trapped in the vehicle, with Cujo lurking outside. As the days pass, Donna and Tad's situation grows dire. They battle dehydration, extreme heat, and the relentless threat of Cujo's attacks from outside the car. Meanwhile, Vic, who is away on a business trip, becomes increasingly concerned when he cannot reach his family. As the tension escalates, the novel delves into the psychological and emotional struggles of each character. Donna fights to protect her son and maintain her sanity while battling her own fears, guilt, and secrets. Vic races against time to return home and save his family. Cujo is a chilling exploration of fear, isolation, and the relentless power of a relentless and deadly force. Stephen King masterfully crafts an atmosphere of suspense and terror, interwoven with themes of family, loyalty, and the fragility of human existence. The novel delves into the darker corners of the human psyche, depicting the horrors that can arise when faced with a seemingly unstoppable threat. It remains a haunting and intense read that solidified Stephen King's reputation as a master of horror fiction. 11. The Running Man, published in 1982 under Stephen King's pseudonym Richard Bachman, is a dystopian thriller set in a totalitarian future where the government controls every aspect of society. The novel follows the story of Ben Richards, a desperate man who becomes a contestant on a deadly game show in a last-ditch effort to provide for his family. In this grim future, the economy is in shambles, and the government employs brutal methods to maintain control. Ben Richards, a poor and unemployed man living in a decaying city, decides to participate in a televised game show called The Running Man, to secure the much-needed financial support for his wife and sick daughter. The objective of the game is for the contestant to evade capture by professional hunters for 30 days while being constantly pursued. If the contestant manages to survive, they will receive a substantial cash prize. However, if they are captured or killed, their loved ones receive nothing. As Ben goes on the run, he must navigate a treacherous and oppressive environment while evading the hunters who are determined to track him down. The novel explores themes of surveillance, media manipulation, and the dehumanizing effects of a society consumed by entertainment and violence. As the game progresses, Ben becomes a symbol of resistance against the oppressive regime, and his actions inspire others to question the authorities. The novel delves into the corrupt nature of power and the lengths individuals will go to fight for their freedom and protect their loved ones. The Running Man offers a thrilling and suspenseful narrative, filled with action sequences and moments of intense psychological tension. It showcases Stephen King's ability to create compelling characters and explore the human condition in a dystopian setting. Throughout the novel, Ben Richards confronts the ethical dilemmas of the game show, the sacrifices he must make, and the consequences of his actions. The story builds towards a climactic and explosive finale as Ben seeks to expose the truth behind The Running Man, and challenge the oppressive regime. The Running Man serves as a thought-provoking critique of media manipulation, authoritarian control, and the power of individual resistance in the face of overwhelming odds. 12. The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger, is the first novel in Stephen King's epic fantasy series, The Dark Tower, published in 1982. It introduces readers to the enigmatic gunslinger, Roland Deschain, as he embarks on a quest through a desolate and otherworldly landscape in pursuit of the mysterious man in black. The story follows Roland, the last of a long line of gunslingers, as he traverses a world that has moved on. He is driven by an unwavering determination to reach the Dark Tower, a mythical and powerful structure that stands at the center of all existence. In his relentless pursuit, Roland seeks answers, redemption, and the restoration of balance to his decaying world. Throughout the novel, Roland encounters various characters and experiences surreal and dangerous situations. he crosses paths with Jake Chambers, a young boy from our world who becomes an unlikely companion on Roland's journey. Their bond becomes a central focus of the narrative, exploring themes of loyalty, sacrifice, and the complexities of human connection. As the gunslinger pursues the Man in Black, he learns of the existence of powerful forces and entities that seek to hinder his progress. The Man in Black serves as both a guide and an adversary, offering cryptic insights into Roland's destiny while testing his resolve. The Gunslinger sets the stage for the larger narrative of The Dark Tower series, blending elements of fantasy, science fiction, and Western genres. It introduces readers to the expansive and interconnected universe, which draws inspiration from various mythologies, literature, and King's own imagination. The novel's prose is atmospheric and introspective, delving into Roland's inner thoughts and haunted past. It presents a surreal and haunting world that is both familiar and alien, with echoes of our own reality interwoven with fantastical elements. The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger, serves as an introduction to the epic and multi-layered saga that unfolds across the subsequent books in the series. It sets the tone for the overarching themes of destiny, determination, and the quest for meaning in a world that is on the brink of collapse. 13. Christine, published in 1983, is a horror novel written by Stephen King. The story revolves around a vintage red and white 1958 Plymouth Fury named Christine, which possesses a malevolent and supernatural influence over its owner, causing a reign of terror. The novel follows the life of Arnie Cunningham, a socially awkward teenager who becomes infatuated with the dilapidated 1958 Plymouth Fury he discovers for sale. Arnie purchases the car, despite its decrepit state, and proceeds to restore it to its former glory. As Arnie becomes more obsessed with Christine, his personality undergoes a dramatic transformation, and he becomes increasingly possessive and aggressive. It becomes apparent that Christine has a dark history and possesses a sinister influence. The car appears to have a mind of its own, repairing itself and exacting revenge on anyone who threatens or crosses Arnie. The vehicle displays a malevolent sentience, causing accidents, injuries, and even deaths. As Christine's influence over Arnie grows, his friends and loved ones, including his best friend Dennis Gilder and his girlfriend Lee Cabot, become increasingly concerned for his well-being. They attempt to intervene and break the hold the car has over him, leading to a climactic and deadly confrontation. Christine explores themes of obsession, possession, and the destructive power of an object imbued with supernatural forces. The novel delves into the psychological and emotional toll that the car's influence has on Arnie and those around him, as well as the consequences of unchecked desire and the allure of power. Stephen King's writing captures the dark and eerie atmosphere of the story, blending horror with elements of psychological suspense. The novel presents a chilling portrayal of a malevolent car that becomes a symbol of obsession and the corrupting nature of unchecked desires. Christine demonstrates King's ability to create memorable and complex characters, as well as his talent for building tension and suspense. It remains a classic entry in the horror genre, showcasing the author's ability to transform ordinary objects into sources of terror and explore the depths of human obsession. 14. Pet Sematary, published in 1983, is a supernatural horror novel written by Stephen King. The story centers around the Creed family and their disturbing experiences after they discover a hidden burial ground with the power to bring the dead back to life. Louis Creed, a doctor, moves with his wife Rachel, their two young children Ellie and Gage, and their pet cat named Church to a small town in Maine. They settle into their new home, which is located near a busy road where speeding vehicles frequently pose a danger. Behind their house, Louis discovers an ancient Native American burial ground known as the Pet Sematary. The ground has a dark and unnerving power that can resurrect the deceased, but with a sinister twist. Those who return from the dead come back changed, violent, and malevolent. Tragedy strikes when Church, the family cat, is killed on the road. Driven by grief and desperation, Louis decides to bury Church in the Pet Sematary, hoping to bring him back. Church returns, but he is no longer the same gentle pet. Instead, he becomes aggressive and exhibits disturbing behavior. As the story unfolds, more tragedy befalls the Creed family, and Louis is faced with increasingly difficult choices. The novel explores themes of grief, loss, and the lengths to which a person may go to bring back a loved one, even if it means defying the natural order and risking dire consequences. Pet Sematary delves into the psychological and emotional toll that death and loss can have on individuals and the devastating effects of tampering with the cycle of life and death. It examines the fragility of the human mind and the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface. Stephen King's writing in Pet Sematary is gripping and atmospheric, blending horror with poignant explorations of mortality and the depths of human despair. The novel delves into the dark side of human nature and the haunting consequences of tampering with forces beyond our control. Pet Sematary is regarded as one of King's most unsettling and chilling works, leaving readers with a lingering sense of unease and contemplation about the boundaries of life and death. 15. Cycle of the Werewolf, published in 1983, is a horror novella written by Stephen King. The story is told in a series of interconnected vignettes, each representing a month in a year-long cycle, as a small town is terrorized by a werewolf. The narrative takes place in the fictional town of Tarker's Mills, Maine, and begins in January. The townspeople are unaware of the lurking danger until the first victim is brutally attacked and killed by an unknown creature. As the months progress, each chapter depicts the werewolf's rampage during a different period, highlighting the impact on the community and the efforts to uncover the creature's identity. The story primarily follows Marty Kozlov, a young boy who is confined to a wheelchair due to a birth defect. Marty becomes intrigued by the werewolf attacks and decides to investigate, ultimately playing a pivotal role in the town's battle against the supernatural threat. The novella explores themes of fear, community, and the struggle between the primal and civilized aspects of human nature. It delves into the darker side of humanity, as the townspeople grapple with their own fears and prejudices while trying to survive the relentless attacks. King's storytelling in Cycle of the Werewolf is enhanced by detailed illustrations by Bernie Wrightson, which accompany each chapter and capture the gruesome and terrifying nature of the werewolf's transformations and attacks. The novella presents a blend of horror and suspense, showcasing King's ability to create tension and evoke a sense of dread. It is a concise and gripping tale that offers a unique spin on the werewolf mythos, focusing on the cyclical nature of the creature's attacks and the impact on an entire community. Cycle of the Werewolf provides a quick and intense reading experience, showcasing King's talent for crafting atmospheric horror narratives. It remains a classic entry in the werewolf subgenre and a testament to King's ability to weave tales of terror and the human condition. 16. The Talisman, published in 1984, is a fantasy novel written by Stephen King and Peter Straub. It tells the story of a young boy named Jack Sawyer who embarks on a perilous journey between two parallel worlds in a quest to save his mother and ultimately protect both worlds from an impending catastrophe. The novel follows Jack as he discovers that he possesses a unique ability called flipping, which allows him to travel between the real world, known as the America Territories, and a parallel fantasy world called the Territories. In the Territories, Jack learns that his mother is dying, and the only way to save her is to find a powerful artifact known as the Talisman, which has the ability to heal or destroy. Guided by a series of mysterious allies, including Speedy Parker and Wolf, Jack ventures through both worlds, encountering fantastical creatures and dangerous adversaries. Along the way, he learns about his own lineage and the existence of a powerful evil known as the Crimson King, who seeks to possess the talisman for his nefarious purposes. As Jack's journey progresses, he faces numerous challenges and tests his courage, wit, and loyalty. The novel explores themes of duality, destiny, and the power of imagination. It delves into the nature of heroism and the lengths one is willing to go to protect those they love. The Talisman combines elements of epic fantasy, adventure, and horror, showcasing the collaborative efforts of Stephen King and Peter Straub. The narrative seamlessly blends the real world with the fantastical, creating a rich and immersive multiverse. The novel is praised for its intricate world building, vivid characters, and the emotional depth of Jack's coming-of-age journey. It showcases the author's abilities to craft a gripping and expansive narrative, filled with memorable settings and a diverse cast of characters. The Talisman stands as a beloved work within the fantasy genre, appealing to fans of both Stephen King's horror stories and Peter Straub's supernatural fiction. It was followed by a sequel, Black House, published in 2001, which continues Jack's story in adulthood. 17. The Eyes of the Dragon, published in 1984, is a fantasy novel written by Stephen King. Departing from his usual horror genre, this novel is set in the fictional realm of Delain and blends elements of fantasy, adventure, and political intrigue. The story primarily revolves around two royal brothers, Peter and Thomas. Peter, the elder and more virtuous brother, is destined to become the king of Delain, while Thomas is manipulated by their malevolent magician advisor, Flag. When their father, King Roland mysteriously dies. Thomas is wrongly accused of the murder and imprisoned in a tower called the Needle. As Peter uncovers the truth about his father's death and Flag's treachery, he embarks on a quest to overthrow the usurper and free his brother. With the help of a few loyal allies, including an old court magician and a resourceful woman named Sasha, Peter works to reclaim his rightful place as king and expose Flag's dark intentions. The Eyes of the Dragon showcases themes of power, loyalty, and the struggle between good and evil. It presents a richly detailed world filled with colorful characters, atmospheric settings, and a narrative that weaves together elements of adventure, suspense, and fantasy. The novel is known for its more accessible and fairy tale-like storytelling compared to some of King's other works. It has often been described as a departure from his typical horror style, with a focus on character development and a more straightforward plot. The Eyes of the Dragon is often regarded as a story suitable for readers of all ages, as it lacks the graphic violence and explicit content commonly associated with King's works. It has found popularity among both young adult and adult readers, offering a captivating and engaging tale of courage, redemption, and the triumph of good over evil. Overall, The Eyes of the Dragon demonstrates Stephen King's versatility as an author and his ability to craft a compelling story that extends beyond the horror genre.